Hello, people! So, I have been asked a couple times to do a video for the knotted headband. I know the pictures are kind of hard to follow. Yes, it was a little bit hard to type out some of the directions too, so I don't mind showing you here. Hopefully, this will be a little more clear. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my cut piece. Now, I did it. See how cute this fabric is? It's from Knit Pop. Anyway, so I cut it 20 wide, and then this is 9 inches right here. I like doing that length because it's 1/4 of a yard, and a lot of times, you know, whether you buy scrap boxes or you have scraps around to spare, you can usually find, you know, a piece about this size. Of course, you can always make them more narrow, you can make them wider. It's really just a versatile pattern. Yeah. And for kids and for people with smaller heads, you know, you can do a shorter distance as well, like probably like 17 to 18, but it also depends on how much stretch your fabric has. So keep that in mind as you're doing that. Okay, so with my piece, I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise. Okay. And right sides together. So I'm going to be stitching on the wrong side. I'm going to stitch the long side. Alright, see that? I'm using contrasting thread, so it's a little easier to see. So now my long side is all stitched, and now I'm going to flip it the right side out. The other reason why the 9-inch length is nice is because it makes it easier to just, and quicker to flip it out. So now I flipped it out, and I'm going to put my center seam directly in the center. Now this is the part that I think gets a little bit confusing. This is where the knot is created. So like I said, I have my center seam back here. This is going to be my wrong side because this is going to end up on the inside. Now I'm going to put my right sides together so that the seams match up. And then I'm going to pull this side and offset it. So there's the center of that side, and here's the center of this side. I'm going to wrap this part around so that it meets the other center seam. And this one is going to wrap around that part I just created. So you can kind of see it sandwiches it in. Okay, now this next step is key. I know that you have raw edges right here, but these get tucked inside when you sew it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew a curved line on this edge right here. I like to use either a double needle or a zigzag so that it allows it to stretch. Alright, so we're going to do a zigzag. Program my machine, and I'm going to do my curved stitch. There it is. You see how it's curved? I did it about 1/4 inch from the top, And now I'm going to clean it up and cut, probably about 1/8 of an inch away from my stitch line, but make sure not to cut into the stitch line. Okay, so there's the finished on the inside. That luckily when you use knits they don't fray, so this isn't going to fray at all, and it's a secure way. So now with this seam, all I have to do is flip it so that that seam is on the inside, and it leaves me with a knot. Now you can adjust, you can pull it as needed until you get it to look like you want it to, and you can also adjust it on your head. So the reason why I do the curved part on that seam and not just a straight stitch is because now it makes this much softer. When I was doing it as a straight seam, you could see the harsh edges of that seam underneath through it, and I don't know, I just didn't like that. I like the more natural look here where you can't see anything poking through. So these are fun because you can wear them with the knot in front, or you can wear it with the wide part and the knot in the back. I've worn them both ways. They're great for working out, for really any day wear. So anyway, that concludes the tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to see anything else up close, and thanks for joining me.